Hey, what's going on, family? Family and family to be, welcome, welcome, welcome. Peyton Milton, bringing you guys another weekly scheduled Tai Chi Fundamentals program. Let me make sure I got all my stuff here in a row, and welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome. Happy to be here with you all. Peyton Milton, Tai Chi 360. Going to be walking you all through another episode, so to speak, of Tai Chi Fundamentals. My goal with this class is really to reach out and help everybody practice, learn, or refine their ability to play in their Tai Chi. So as always, we will start with some Tai Chi Standing. So for those of you who are familiar with the Tai Chi Standing ready position, go ahead and get into that. And just follow along with me here for a second. I'm going to be talking, and you're going to be breathing, getting into your posture. You measure the feet like so. One foot goes sideways in conjunction with some tiles, perhaps. You measure how far down that line your foot goes, and then at the end of where your foot was, that's where your other foot goes. So one of your feet creates the width between your feet in the Tai Chi standing position. Once you've got that distancing on the feet, we're going to bend the knees slightly. Relax the qua. The qua is this inguinal crease right here, separating the leg from the groin and pelvis area. So we want to open that spot up. And this can be done by bending the knees and allowing the tailbone to sink down very gently, as if 4 ounces are dangling from the tailbone. So that's nice. That takes care of the lower body half of the Tai Chi standing. What we want to do now is focus primarily on the chin and the crown. Stretching up, we're stretching the ears away from the shoulders, and actually you can imagine that you're stretching the ears to the crown as well, where they're going to connect and then reach to the heavens. So I'm going to get more into how the chin tuck is relative to the back of the neck area that we'll be working on in the future. But for the time being, just get in your Tai Chi standing ready position, and I'm going to share this nice piece of Tai Chi report that I've accumulated. All right. So this is actually something made for beginner push hands training. But that is not exactly what we are going to be getting into today. So it starts off. The goal is to meditate and learn to develop the core of the energetic anatomy, and to furthermore learn what it feels like to view through the body internally by feeling, or with feeling. With feeling sounds better at first until you do it, and then it becomes by feeling. Feels best. Going on. This is where the importance of deep nasal breathing comes largely into play. So embryonic breathing is not necessarily through the nose. Embryonic breathing is actually inhaling, expanding the belly, exhaling, condensing the belly. And in Qigong, we use the mouth to exhale. But in Tai Chi, we use the nose. And this is why. The importance of deep nasal breathing comes largely into play. By increasing your oxygen levels and training your lungs' capacity as well as their ability to absorb oxygen, that's done with any type of embryonic breathing, we have the option to simultaneously reap the benefit of an increased production of nitric oxide. So nitric oxide is something that they put in pre-workout supplements to increase your blood flow, okay, everybody? So you can naturally produce this chemical physiologically with deep nasal breathing. That's probably why it's so important in the Tai Chi systems. There's a physiological. I'm actually the one that typed this. There's a physiological reaction that occurs after about 7 minutes of deep nasal breathing that activates a chemical response within the body to take place, resulting in vasodilation, meaning the expansion of cardiovascular tissues, everybody. Okay, so heart, lungs, veins, arteries. So the veins and arteries are able to carry more blood throughout the body is basically what this means. And that makes nasal embryonic breathing the first true piece to the Tai Chi puzzle. So definitely make sure that you guys are inhaling through the nose, expanding the belly, exhaling through the nose, stimulating that sinus cavity so that you can produce that nitric oxide, condense the belly. Really train that body mechanic to condense the belly, and then later on work on silencing the breath, okay? I can't imagine being able to silence my breathing as a new practitioner and maintaining a deep, rhythmic nasal breath at the same time. It just seems preposterous to me as a beginner. I'm not even a beginner and I have a hard time doing that, okay, everybody? Furthermore, actually, in the Chinese system of embryonic breathing, the tongue connects an energetic circuit believed to run up the back, around the crown, and connecting right here, where the tongue meets the roof of the mouth in some fashion. Typically, behind the two front teeth, there's that little button there. Push up on that gently, softly with the tongue, soft and gentle intention with everything that we do in Tai Chi. Inhale, make sure that tongue is nice and connected before your exhale, because when we're inhaling, we're drawing the chi up through the feet, through the legs, up to the tailbone. That's where the governing vessel begins. The governing vessel begins and goes all the way to the upper lip spot right here. That's all on the inhale. So technically, your tongue doesn't have to connect until you're exhaling every single time. That being said, the microcosmic orbit is supposed to be occurring all the time, whether or not you're consciously aware of it or working with it anyways. So do we ever want the tongue to really be off of that point in the mouth if we believe in the energetic anatomy teachings? The answer is probably not. Probably not is the answer. So the Chinese version of embryonic breathing is also called Dantian breathing, not embryonic breathing. And that is probably why, if you look up embryonic breathing, you will not find the information that I just shared with you. So 2 fingers below the belly button is known as the Dantian, and this is usually where, when we're inhaling, we're expanding, and when we're exhaling, we're contracting. 2 fingers below the belly button really helps as a focus point when you compare it to, for example, condensing the belly button towards the spine. Perhaps that's an easier way to understand, but the minute details within the actual focus of where you're pushing in towards the spine really changes the difference in the way that things work out for you. For example, it's kind of like if I tried to breathe here instead of here. Breathing here, I don't exactly relax my organs down. You know, I'm still kind of focused on this upper torso area. But if I focus below the belly button when I'm breathing, it kind of helps me create more space down here. Creating more space down here for the innards to sink and create space for the lungs is one of the body mechanics that is benefiting us while we're expanding this belly. I sincerely cannot make this sound any more important, guys. It's too important to overlook, and you'll just be missing out on the best benefits possible if you are not doing your nasal embryonic breathing. So definitely be practicing your nasal embryonic breathing. So we've covered more or less everything that we need to be doing for the Tai Chi Standing. We've covered the foot distancing. We've got one of our feet, so probably less than 12 inches. Am I right or am I right? Got one of our feet in between the space of our feet with the toes facing directly forwards. Okay? The knees are always slightly bent. Even when we rise up on the knees and the knees become unbent, they stay slightly bent. So we never hyperextend the knees. This is mostly because the energetic anatomy is kind of like a hose, I guess you could say. If you kink it up, you're not going to get very good flow. So we want to make sure that we're doing the opposite of kinking it up, stretching it, opening it up, relaxing it, right? Conversely, from the feet and below the belly button's focus, the upper body portion of posturing is very important. And one of the biggest hurdles for me was actually developing this hollow shoulder qua feeling. This hollow shoulder qua feeling can also be described by turtle back. Giving yourself a turtle back means that you are flattening out the shoulder's blades. So what we want to be doing here is making sure that the chin is tucked in and the crown is stretched up. So we're not doing this, guys. We're not chicken necking and throwing our shoulders out. We're tucking the chin in, stretching the crown up, finding our proper posture before we open up and hollow out that shoulder qua. We want to open up and hollow out this shoulder qua, again, because we don't want to kink the energetic hose. Okay? We want to do the opposite of kinking the energetic hose, especially in Temple Tai Chi, where the primary focus is developing the energetic anatomy. They use so many intricate body mechanics with an emphasis of relaxation while actually having to do work. It might seem a bit too contradicting for the beginner at first, but once practice is taken under play, you will start to realize how beautiful and helpful these intricacies truly are. Whether you're a martial artist or a store clerk who just has to stand there and stand up all day, if you're a server, if you're a construction worker, all of this stuff is going to help you. All right, maybe the deep breathing won't help too much if you're wearing a mask all the time, so get out there and get some fresh air and do your deep breathing instead. That's my 2 cents on it. Training the duration of the inhale and exhale is one of the many aspects that can be trained about the breath. Sifu, do we want to be focusing on increasing the lungs' capacity while we're doing deep nasal breathing here in the Tai Chi system?
It's going to increase naturally if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you're focused on basically having a deep diaphragmatic breath that's long, strong, and silent, the capacity will fill naturally if you follow those guidelines. But don't just focus on capacity. No.
Gotcha. Okay, so there are a lot of different aspects of the breath, like Sifu was just saying, that we can focus on. He mentioned silent breathing. I mentioned that earlier as well. Silent breathing is one of the many aspects that you can focus on. The rule with silent breathing is, if you can hear yourself breathing, you're breathing too loud. That's the rule of thumb for silent breathing. So without further ado, everybody, I'm going to get right into it here. I wanted to take you all through that Tai Chi Standing push hands report sort of deal that I had suited up for everybody. And now, let me see if I can get this to look at my feet a little bit more. How about that? There we go. All right. So I've got y'all looking at my feet for a pretty good reason, actually. We're going to be doing something that we covered on last called hands attaching later. And I really want to make sure that you guys can see all of the footwork that's involved. But first, I'm going to take you guys into the Tai Chi Standing, and we're going to do a little bit of guided single point training, I believe is what it's called. So for those of you who don't know the bow in, I'll walk you through that now. After your next exhale in your Tai Chi Standing, when we go to inhale, we pick up the earth chi, drawing it up to the dantian, 2 fingers below the belly button, opening the dantian, passing the heart, opening the heart as well, passing the third eye, opening the third eye, bowing, offering sincerity in our practice, willingness to grow, and no intention of harm. Inhaling, spiking the fingers into the earth chi before we inhale. We pull that earth chi up. And coming out, we make a hollow fist, covering the left hollow fist with the right open palm. Fingers spread apart on the right hand. Stacking the vertebrae one at a time as we come up. Inhaling up. Drawing that hollow fist, holding the chi into the heart. Exhaling after the fingers point directly down. Washing internal with the chi. All right. So just getting into your Tai Chi standing position. I went over the foot distancing. I went over the knee bending. I went over the tailbone tucking. I went over the shoulder qua, the chin tuck, the crown stretch. What I did not mention yet is this. This meridian channel right here. If you're a meditator or you're already a practitioner of some energetic arts, you probably have some ability to feel what I'm talking about. There's an energy channel that runs down the outsides of the legs, connecting with the earth. We want to line up this meridian channel between the thumb and the index finger with that seam in our pants that traces the energetic connection the legs create with the earth. Okay. So I'm going to take you all into single point training now. For those of you who are not familiar with the Tai Chi figure 8 standing, here we go. Do your best to make sure your shoulder qua remains open. Your Tai Chi posture is complete, chin tucked, crown stretched, shoulder qua open, tailbone sunken nice and neatly, as if 4 ounces are drawing it towards the ground. 1 foot of space, not 12 inches, one of your feet of space between your feet here. Supposed to line up these big toes with this inside shoulder qua, the hollow part of the shoulders. That's the goal. Lining up that meridian channel. Deep nasal embryonic breathing. And silencing it if you choose to train that aspect of the breath. Sinking, slightly bending the knees more. The crown should stay stretched up as you exhale, sinking. Inhaling, expanding the belly. Raising up, not straightening the legs, but keeping them slightly bent, even at the top here. I've got a slight bend in my leg there. Sinking as we exhale, condensing the abdomen, contracting the core, maintaining our Tai Chi standing posture. What we're going to do now is, after you exhale and sink next, we're going to inhale and drift the weight distribution into the front left toe. Exhaling, sinking into that point. Inhaling, we're going to now shift over into the left pinky toe. Exhaling, sinking into that. Inhaling, traveling back to the left heel. Exhaling, sinking the weight's distribution onto the back left heel. We're now going to inhale our way into the right toe. Exhaling, sinking into that single spot. Inhaling, transitioning over to the right pinky toe. The weight distribution should actually be on the pad of the foot just behind the pinky toe, leaning towards the toe though. We want to be working a figure 8 here. Inhaling towards the right heel now. Exhaling, sinking. Bending the knees slightly more, condensing the abdomen onto that back heel. Inhaling to the left big toe. Exhaling, we're going to exhale and sink into the left pinky toe now. Inhaling, we're going to travel over here to the back left heel. Exhaling, we're going to sink forwards into the right big toe. Inhaling, drifting to the right pinky toe. Exhaling, sinking slowly throughout the duration of the exhale. The weight distribution shifts, transitions into the back right heel. Inhaling, we move to the front left big toe again. And continue to work that figure 8. We're going to inhale, rising up, drifting forwards into the big toe from the heel, over to the pinky toe. We're going to exhale, sinking back into the heel. Inhaling, we drift forwards, rising into the big toe on the left foot. Inhaling all the way over to the left side of the left foot and traveling down as we exhale, sinking into the back left heel. Inhale, right toe into right side of right foot. Exhale, sinking, making sure the tailbone is tucked, the knees are bent. Weight is on the right heel. Inhaling, slightly rising, drifting into the big toe, all the way to the left side of the foot. We exhale, sinking, settling, bending the knees, stretching the crown. Weight is now sunken on the left heel. Inhale, figure 8ing to the right heel. Inhale. Figure 8 over to the left. Traveling through the big toe, the pinky toe, all the way down the left side of the left foot, exhaling into the left heel, sinking. We inhale. Now, I personally like to inhale one direction, exhale, sink, and center myself. Inhale, figure 8 the other foot. Exhale, sinking onto the heel and returning to center as the inhale begins. And we travel forwards. This is actually an unusually fun practice to take upon yourself when you're standing in line at the bank or the store. There's an infinite number of body mechanics to check. My training would suggest focusing on the lower half of the body first. What we really want to do in our Tai Chi standing meditation forms is we want to seek what they refer to as the sung. Okay? Seeking the sung means going into the position where the body has no pain or discomfort, is completely relaxed. And this may confuse, especially those who come from a Western way of thinking, because how could you possibly be training a physical art and relaxing at the same time? It's absolutely a preposterous notion. I understand that. In the Western way of thinking, where black and white things are actually shades of gray, and we're merely taught that this is defined as this, and if it's outside of this definition, then it must be something else. This is not true in the Eastern way of thinking, everybody. So to relax into stress is actually something that exists in the traditional teachings. And it's a very valuable notion to be able to wrap your mind around. Very much a prerequisite to achieve what is commonly referred to in the Chinese way as Wu Wei, effortless effort. So once you've gotten, for example, the muscle memory of Tai Chi standing down, now you'll finally be free from the 6 or 7 different points. The foot's distance, the knees bent, the tailbone tucked down, the shoulder quad open, the chin tucked in, the crown stretched up. Once you've gotten all those trained into muscle memory, now you're free to really dive deep in your practice. It's going to take a couple weeks, at least. In addition with that figure 8 training that we just did, do your best to seek the sung. And here's a short little exercise you all can use in order to really hone in on what seeking the sung means and how to do it. In your Tai Chi standing, let's say your foot has 4 different points of balance on it, okay? The top inside half, the top outside half, the heel inside half, and the heel outside half. Okay, so we've got 4 different pieces, 2 halves of 2 halves, right? Move all of the weight into the middle 4 sections of both of the feet. So inside big toe, inside big toe, inside heel, and see if that mitigates or completely removes any pain or discomfort in your standing. If it does, perfect, stay there. Otherwise, consider shifting the weight all the way to the left and play with the bend in the knees. See if there is any level of the knee bend that feels completely comfortable, almost as if it's no effort. And if that doesn't work, shift all the way to the right. And if that doesn't work, come back to the center and then shift all of the weight to both outsides of the feet. And play with these different combinations of balancing the weight's distribution on the feet. Okay? In addition to that, now that we've covered the bottom portion of the training, see this? I'm all the way on the left side of my foot, but my hips and shoulders are still in line, okay? It's much different from this, where I'm leaning my head off of my Tai Chi pole. My Tai Chi pole is like this. I want to be like this. Like I'm kind of pushing the hips out a little bit, still stretching the crown up away. Obviously keeping the knee bent still, very important. Always keeping the knee bent. The idea is to train yourself to have this squared frame of the hips and the shoulders, always in line, always keeping the Tai Chi pole nice and erect, always having that chin tucked in. The two most important parts of everything are having the tailbone tucked and the crown stretched on top of the embryonic breathing, okay? So the body mechanics of having the tailbone tucked and the crown stretched can't be done without the knees being bent and the chin being tucked in. Are you with me? This is some really intricate stuff, and there's almost no way anybody's going to be good at it on their first day. So unless you've been doing this for some time or you're familiar with practices like this, expect there to be a large learning curve. Especially when you've got to focus on this and this and this and this lineup. And then you have to also focus on the rising and the sinking. Am I right or am I right? So it's also, I'm doing my best here not to overload you all, and I feel like I might be falling short on that goal. Hey, welcome home, Marco.
Hey, Ben.
Doing good?
Doing as great as I can be.
Feeling healthy anymore?
Oh no, I've been feeling fine.
Oh, good.
Last couple of weeks.
Oh, good, good. You look like you need some gel in your hair or something.
I just said I need a haircut.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't want to get a haircut. That's it.
Yeah, so realistically, only 6 or 7 things can really be trained at any given time outside of what's already been trained into your muscles' memory. Okay? That being said, we're already focusing on more than 6 or 7 things with this Tai Chi Standing exercise of the figure 8. In addition to that, actually, you guys will love this one. While you're in your Tai Chi Standing and you're practicing this figure 8, use the tailbone, okay? The tailbone can be controlled with a pelvic tuck, okay? Pelvic tuck towards your big toe as you're traveling into it, and then towards your pinky toe as you're traveling into it, and then back towards the heel as you're traveling into it, and then up towards the next big toe, and then towards the heel, and then towards the next. You see? So the figure 8 standing position has so many layers and so many different ways and approaches that you can practice it to optimize every single little detail of these simple, tiny movements. that are going to help you live a long and healthy life. The unfortunate part about living a long and healthy life is not everybody wants to. Yeah. So as far as the postural assessment is concerned with the Tai Chi Standing, you might do yourself well to go into a door jam or something like that. Make sure you don't have a ponytail, because that'll get in the way of you measuring how flat your back is. Flatten out your scapula there, your shoulder blades, and put it up against a wall. Like I've got this handy dandy whiteboard right here. See, that's straight right there. So what you can do is get up against this right here, tuck that tailbone so that the tailbone actually cinches up against the wall. And now make sure that every single vertebrae, ideally, is in contact with the wall or the door jamb or the whiteboard in my case. And practice your embryonic breathing. This is one way to practice what it feels like to have the tailbone tucked in the fashion that it's supposed to be, pointing directly down to the ground. This is also a good way to make sure that the tailbone being tucked is lined up with the thoracic vertebrae here from the open shoulder qua. Now, it seems almost unavoidable that there's this gap right here. There's this gap right here above the tailbone and below the thoracic vertebrae. The thoracic vertebrae is kind of like the shoulder blade area, for those who don't know. There's this spot right here that loves to have a little indentation in it. So you tuck the tailbone and you get that all straightened out, but look, I can still shove my fingers through right here. Oh my gosh, how did that happen? You do not want that. You want your Tai Chi pole. My tailbone is touching this. The vertebrae above my tailbone is in contact with it. I might be better off doing this not on a whiteboard with wheels. You don't exactly want to lean into the wall. Soft and gentle connection. Just using it to line up the back. And now, open the shoulder qua. Tuck the chin in, stretch the crown up, and see if you have a hole here again. See, I do, because I didn't fix this part until after I fixed my posture. So every single time you fix anything about your Tai Chi standing posture, you need to go back and fix everything. Okay? We're not just fixing one thing ever. We're fixing everything all the time. It does not stop. Tai Chi is always in motion, family. Always in motion. So Sifu really wanted me to get you all up to hands attaching here today. I've got that on my handy dandy whiteboard. Dragon breathing, hands attaching in press form. I think we're going to skip the dragon breathing for today. That was a special surprise from last strong, actually. I shouldn't have even mentioned it. Oh, uh-oh. But I would really like for anybody who's watching this to just get onto the Patreon, everybody. Just get onto the Patreon. You're going to learn so much more. You're going to learn so much faster, and you're going to have a whole community of people to be training and practicing with. Measuring my stance here, sinking into my knees, getting into my Tai Chi standing position. As I'm exhaling, I'm going to shift into my left foot. My right heel is going to come off of the ground. As I inhale, I'm going to draw the Tai Chi balls in. And my right toes point 45 degrees out. I'm going to replace the ball of the foot now with my heel. Sinking onto the left foot, which has all of my weight on it still, and allowing the right foot to place itself upon the ground as I do so, I'm going to now begin drifting straight into that toe, emptying the weight on my left leg. I'm going to reach my left hand down to my right foot. Now, empty stepping, which means weightless left foot. Heel comes in contact with the ground first. As we inhale next, we're going to expand the belly and rise up on the back leg. Ready? As we do this, the foot, once again, becomes placed down. Sinking, bending the knees slightly, and scooping. We complete a semicircle. Palm ends in front of the chest. Tai Chi ball in the right now, on the exhale, begins to drop out. The right hand becomes the primary target here, primary point of focus. We inhale, scooping off to this 45, scooping the earth chi, connecting with the heaven chi, exhaling, sinking. Drifting into that front toe before touching the palms, pressing the triangle, and returning. Returning the Tai Chi ball. Okay? From hands attaching, everybody. From hands attaching. Let me see if I can make this any better. There we go. Let's see how that is. From my Tai Chi standing position, on the next inhale, exhaling, I'm sinking, shifting. Inhaling, I'm drawing, turning my right foot out, replacing the ball of the foot with the heel. Sinking and reaching the left hand to the right foot. Empty step. Rising with the Tai Chi ball makes the front foot fall. Sinking the knees. Scooping the earth chi. Connecting it with the heaven. In front of chest. Exhaling. Right Tai Chi ball falls out. We scoop. Connect with heaven. Exhaling. Sinking. As the hand crosses past the face here, I begin drifting into the front toe. As the weight distribution hits my front left toe, I connect the palms, touching the palms. I squeeze a triangle together here, and then return, inhaling. Drawing the Tai Chi balls back into the Dantian. Inhaling, reaching that left hand into the right earth chi. Left foot empty once again. Rising. Scooping. Semicircle. Exhaling. Right hand becomes primary. Inhaling. Scooping earth, connecting heaven. Exhaling, sinking. Hand passes face. Drift into left toe. Touch palm as weight is distributed fully in the front toe. Press triangle and return. So this was a Sifu special request here today, everybody. Now, I know I took you guys into it from hands attaching the last 2 times, but this time I did not actually do the stepping again, okay? So I'm coming from here, from the standing position that I'm already in, left foot forward. I've returned the Tai Chi balls. Number 1 would typically be turn right foot out, replace ball of foot with heel, reach left hand in, sinking, empty step. That's all 1. That's 1 right there. 2 is rising. Straightened legs. But remember what I said about straightened legs, everybody. We never actually straighten the legs. So straightened legs means still slightly bent. Now we want to actually sink ever so slightly as we're scooping off of this 45 direction back here. Finishing with the hand in line with the chest. And this is where this press lines up with as well. So this press actually comes in. Let me show you like this. How about that? See how my left hand is coming in closer to my chest now? My right hand. Now I'm drifting. Weight is in my big toe is when I touch. And then press that triangle. And then yeah. Does anybody have any questions for me? I see there are a few of you guys out there watching me right now. No questions? Comments? Concerns? Nothing, huh? All right. Well, hey, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, happy to be here. Let us know if you guys have any questions, concerns, or generally just want to get in touch with us and train with us. Peace, peace. Tai Chi 360. Signing off a few minutes early. But are we ever really on time? Yes. Yes. Yes, we are. Yeah, all the time. All right. You just found me. You thought I was on Patreon. Patreon? I was supposed to... Oh. That's a shame. Yep, nope. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, well, actually, Fridays. Fridays is the only one that we really have that's not listed on the Patreon right now. So this is a free open class, actually, for anybody, including the patrons, to come by. We have a 2 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Saturday is a podcast. And then we have 3 p.m.s this week, at least, this strong, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Saturday, Sunday for the Distant Disciple tier on Patreon. It's really a lot more easy than it seems to be being conveyed. It's 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. every single day. Yep. I guess we'll just have to get a nice schedule formatted out and sent off to everybody so that we can put an end to this hurrah of surprises. But yes. Yes, yes.
Wasn't it on the same platform last round?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, I might have done them a solid and posted it on the Patreon. I can't remember if I did. I don't think that I did. Maybe I did so that I would have some actual students attending. Yeah. But thank you very much for letting me know, Pam, because that